Hi everyone. This video is all about metabolism and enzymes' role in metabolism. So metabolism is going to be all of the reactions that occur in a cell, okay? And we can actually break those reactions into two categories. Okay, we have catabolism or catabolic reactions, and we have anabolism or anabolic reactions. And these are just the opposite of each other. Okay, with I spelled that wrong, catabolism, sorry y'all. With catabolism, that is going to be where we um, are breaking down molecules, okay? And in doing so, we're releasing energy. So when we're starving, for instance, right, our body taps into their sugar reserves. We have these really long carbohydrates called polysaccharides, and we can literally just break little pieces off of those polysaccharides in order to release energy into the cell, which is why we feel better. Um, and it actually keeps us conscious. Then when you eat, right, then there's this massive influx of macromolecules for our body to break down, again, releasing energy. So we feel much better then. On the other hand, anabolism or anabolic reactions are when the cell is building things. So when smaller molecules, like when two amino acids are being joined together to build a protein, that's an anabolic reaction. And those reactions require energy, right? Imagine that you want to go and build a house, right? And you're going to take all the smaller components, all those pieces of wood, and you're going to put them together to build a structure. You're going to have to put in energy to do that. Okay, so again, catabolism, breaking large molecules down into smaller ones, releasing energy, whereas with anabolism or anabolic reactions, we are joining smaller molecules together to build something, so that requires an input of energy. So when we're talking about reactions, okay, I'm just going to use the starting molecule A is going to become final molecule B. Now, a lot of times you're used to hearing molecule A, the starting molecule, called the reactant, but in biology, we actually use a different term. We call it the substrate. Okay, so our starting molecule is the substrate, and then after the reaction is finished, you end up with the product. So that's very similar to, right, what we say in like chemistry and things. Now, each of these molecules has a starting energy level, and therefore, there's energy associated with the entire reaction. And so if we were to kind of plot the time that a reaction takes, so essentially on the left here would be the start of the reaction, and at the right would be the end of the reaction. And if we wanted to look at the energy change as the reaction proceeds, okay, what you often see is here's my starting energy, and I'm just making this number up just for this example. And so we have the starting energy of our substrate A, and then there's this extra input of energy required no matter what to get the reaction started. Once that energy is met, then the reaction proceeds, and then maybe here is the ending energy level, okay? And so what kind of is the rate limiting step here for this reaction to occur is this hump, right? This input of energy that is required to kind of get the party started, okay? And we call this, so with Collaborate, I don't really know how to change pen colors really, but this right here, this energy hump, we call that the activation energy. So the little A right here that I'm trying to draw, that's activation, capital E is for energy. So that's the activation energy is the energy required to activate or start a reactant, okay? So essentially, again, we're starting with our substrate A, and that's the energy level of A. And then down here is the energy level of our product B. But to get in order for A to be converted into B, we need to acquire energy from the environment. And a lot of times that comes in the form of heat. Okay, we're going to talk more about that later. Because if you imagine, let me kind of turn on my video real quick and see if you can see it. I don't know if y'all can see me. On my end, you cannot. But imagine, okay, that you have like a molecule, right? And everything is just naturally moving in the cell. Well, as you take in heat from the environment, what happens to molecules as they heat up? They move faster, right? So as the molecules are acquiring more energy, right? And they get more and more heat, they go faster and faster until finally it breaks, right? The bonds holding the molecules break. Just like if you give a toddler a toy and they shake it, right? Eventually it's going to break. So I'm not sure if I'm still sharing this whiteboard. It looks like it. Okay. So this top region of this graph, that is called the transition state, because at that point, the molecule is essentially being shaken or vibrated enough that the bonds holding molecule A together are able to be broken. That way they can reform to form molecule B. Okay. And so at the transition state, enough energy has been acquired so that molecule A can essentially fall apart and form product B. Okay. Now, the problem with this, and I don't see, oh, here's where I can change color. Perfect. The problem with this is sometimes it can take molecules hours, days, weeks, years, even up to a century to acquire enough activation energy to occur. Well, we don't have that kind of time, right? And so that's where enzymes come in. Okay, so enzymes are specialized proteins, and what they do, the only thing they change, okay, so I'm kind of trying to copy this starting energy of substrate A perfectly. So the only thing that an enzyme changes is it decreases the amount of activation energy required to start the reaction. Okay, it does not affect the starting energy level of substrate A. It does not affect the final energy level of product B. The only thing it does is decrease that activation energy, allowing the reaction to happen significantly faster. And so we say that enzymes are catalysts, and I'm going to review this on the next video, but they are catalysts because they speed up reactions by decreasing that activation energy. Okay, I'm going to repeat that one more time because it's really important. Enzymes are catalysts because they speed up the rate of a reaction by decreasing that activation energy. Okay, so we're going to talk more about enzymes in the next video. So please let me know if you have any questions.